Hey gang, this is Mike with Mr. No Fluff, and today I want to talk about the ancient wisdom Thoth and the Emerald Tablets. Now, since college, I've been reading around 30 books a year, and then I've bumped it up the past 5-6 years, reading 60 books a year, okay? And also have a college degree. During this whole time, I've never heard about Thoth or the Emerald Tablets. Now through college history, because I love history, digging and stuff like that, nowhere. Through my self-improvement books, when I read, all kinds of books, from Napoleon Hill all the way to The Alchemist, etc. I think The Alchemist, the book by the author Pablo Cubella, I butcher his last name, I'm sorry, was the most closest to leading to that path. But every other book, that I read didn't even talk about stuff like that. Now, they talked about major ingredients that Thoth and the Emerald Tablets talks about, okay? But I challenge you to, I'll leave a link below on some YouTube guys that actually are reading it, the Emerald Tablets for you, and just listen to it. It's so profound. This book is older than any religion. It's from Christianity, from Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, Zen, etc. And I can tell you that I've been flexible where my parents were Baha'i, and I went to the churches and read their holy books. Then I had friends that were from Islam, and I read the Quran, and went to their mosque, and I had friends from other religions. And then at the same time, I was a seeker myself, and I read many different things, from Zen to Buddhist to Christianity to just reading different types of religions and stuff. And what I can tell you is, by reading the Emerald Tablets, majority of the religion are just duplicated from what this guy was saying. I know that sounds really contradictory, but I challenge you to go check it out. And the stuff this guy says is, so profound, like what they taught in school about the ancients, okay, like the Egyptians and etc. How the cavemen were not that smart, they only had sticks and stones, and they happened to build the pyramids with just rocks and rolling rocks and on logs, what have you, and just BS. Because by doing all this studying, I'm starting to realize that a lot of things were lied to us, just like the way we print money and how everyone has to work, and then some guys printing the money behind the curtain and inflating the money, and which causes prices to go up, from gas to water. Everything will go up, and always it's a hidden tax. It's kind of like that illusion, okay, with fractional reserve lending, and which means that if you put $1 in, the bank can lend out 9 times more, if not 20 times more, depends how they make their rules or policies, than what they have. So if you go to your bank right now and you say you want a big sum of money, more than likely that they're not going to have it in there, okay? And so this is what I'm starting to realize. So I challenge everyone to go read the book, not the book, it's called The Emerald Tablet of Thoth, because now, I've probably read it at least like 50 plus times, okay, I've lost track. The very first time I read it, okay, it was just like so out there. And every line is punched with so much pure information that you have to read it multiple times to get some kind of understanding of it, because it's so, you're like, yeah, whatever, dude. But you have to think about this thing was written so long ago, before the Quran, before the Bible, before X, before Y, right? Before the oldest civilizations that we found written writings from, the Sumerians, okay? Before that, and it's pretty revolutionary. And somehow it says that this guy came to Earth and found men just a little bit above being in the caves, and how you just got to read it for yourself, man. It's pretty fascinating. But not only on that spiritual aspect, or the ancient, like who am I and where do I come from, but also on the business level. For example, Napoleon Hill, okay? he talked about different things. Okay, like in his book. I've read, if not all of it, I want to say all of the majority of his book. I think I've read all of it, but majority of his books. Okay, one thing he talks about is that when he interviewed a bunch of these successful people, right, in his books, in his journeys, what he realized is, and it included himself, that your brain is like an antenna, okay, that it taps into this infinite intelligence, that it taps into this ether of super, if you want to call it a supercomputer, it has everything you need to know, right? And that's why, when he interviewed these people, some of them would just go sit for ideas. They just go sit there for the idea, okay? And that's what I realized, okay, through my own journey, not because I read a book, because I experienced it, I realized it through realization of action. When I lived in my car out of college with $100, and I wanted to start a business, I didn't have any money, no credit, I didn't know what to do, but I believed in it. I knew it was going to happen. Just, and I could just see it in my brain, right? I could just close my eyes and just see it, right? And then it did happen, right? I was able to employ a lot of people, have multiple locations, led to another business, led to rental houses, etc. Okay, as a refugee that didn't speak the language. So I challenge you guys to go read the book, Thoth, the Emerald Tablets. I'll include a link below of a guy that I like that reads. It's real nice. And it's mind blowing. And now you're probably the first time you're gonna read it, like whatever. I challenge you to at least have to read it like 3 or 4 times. Just listen to it when you're driving in traffic, because it's very, very profound. And if you think about how old this is before, Henry Ford, before Napoleon Hill, this is before Christ, this is before Muhammad, this is before Buddha, this is before all this stuff. All right, it's pretty profound. So if you're flexible, I think that you should go check it out. Right? If you're rigid, I totally understand, and I have much love for you. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.